Hi everyone. What I'm going to be doing today is making a slushy for my female geckos that are breeding. They have a habit of not eating while they're laying their clutches and before. So I got this recipe off of Golden Gate's website, Golden Gate Geckos, I believe. So what the recipe actually calls for is milk thistle and acidophilus. I got these at just a local drugstore. So these are pill forms, so when you're mixing them, I put them in first, and then these ones specifically where they're pill form, they're harder to chop up, so I'll put some of my liquid in to start to dissolve them. This is 1/3 cup of Pedialyte. I just got the Life brand, same thing. And same thing with the Ensure. It's also Life brand. 1/3 cup of it. The recipe says either 1/4 or 1/3. I go with the 1/3. Goes a little farther. So that just gives that one little tablet a chance to start to dissolve. And then these ones here are a little bit more simpler. You need 2 of these, and what you do is you just open the capsules and dump the contents inside of the blender. So there's 1. There's 2. Okay, and oh, I need to get just 1 sec. Half a teaspoon of calcium and half a teaspoon of vitamin powder. So I have this one here. It has no D3, and this one doesn't have D3 either. They get the D3 from their light, so it's not really that important. So half a teaspoon. No. That's half a tablespoon. Oh, good thing I checked. I don't know what this comes with. 1. I don't know what it is. This is. Sorry, I should have had this ready before. There we go. Half a teaspoon. This looks much better. The other one seemed a little bit big. Okay, so we got half a teaspoon of your calcium. And then the same for the vitamins. Half a teaspoon of that. And it calls for a can of baby food, and the recipe calls for squash, so butternut squash, and it calls for the whole thing. And then it calls for a small can of Hill's dog food. I've Googled and just to see if it would, because I find it really hard. I have to actually go to another city to get the Hills. So I've Googled to see if you can substitute another pet food for Hills, and I don't think you can because I haven't located any site that has that. So I got a small can of dog food. I have gourmet chicken entree. So we'll see. I think I used a rice-based one the last time. This one should be alright. Okay. Okay, so I just want to make sure I have everything. Oh, and of course, hand-pulled mealworms. Or you can use crickets, both, doesn't matter. I was going to use this. It says it's really nutritious and it's really good for breeding geckos. So I'm just going to just dump a couple of it in there. Because they won't eat it when I put it in a dish in their thing. They just sort of just look at it like, what's that? So there, I have the dog food, the vitamins, the Pediasure, baby food, leopard gecko. It's like dried flies. Nice. And that's it. And just give her a little blend, and then just dump them in these. I'm going to use these, it'll fit in the freezer a little bit better. They're really narrow. And then as I need them, I'll just take one out and defrost it. And I'm going to be using a dropper that I got from the drugstore. I just asked them and they gave me some. So I'll be using this to feed them in it. And the little lines are all wore off, but pretty much you can tell. I was feeding the male pretty much a full dropper when he was not well last year, but the females usually take about a half. So that's it. You have all these ingredients. You mix them all up. I'm not sure the shelf life. I had some in the freezer from last year when they were breeding, and moisture must have got in the container because it was all crystallized and freezer burn. And well, I wouldn't eat freezer burn, so I wouldn't feed it to my geckos. So that's the story. We got all these ingredients. We put them in the blender. Make sure it's completely blended up, because remember you have those two pills that are hard. You can actually hear them when you're blending them. And you put them in your thing, in your freezer, and you're good to go. When they're frozen, you can take them out and you can put them in freezer bags, and then maybe the freezer burn problem won't occur again. So that's about it. If you're having a leopard gecko that's being fussy and not eating or breeding or sick, has parasites, whatever, I recommend this. I gave this to my geckos last year and they gained lots of weight back, and I had no problems with them, and it was a godsend. So that's it. Good luck, and thanks for watching Geckoland. Bye now.